Los Angeles Rams 8-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Aaron Donald issued a statement with his wife, Erica. As parents and members of society, we felt a responsibility to send a clear message that hate words and actions have consequences. And Boston Celtics guard Jaylen Brown, a 2021 All-Star, said in a statement, I now recognize that there are times when my voice and my position can't coexist in spaces that don't correspond with my stance or my values. And for that reason, I am terminating my association with Donda Sports. Both statements are profound reversals of what Donald and Brown said when they signed with the controversial West. Donald said on the I Am Athlete podcast in May that the family atmosphere at Donda Sports, not just for him but also his wife, made it a no-brainer.
People have concerns or critiques about, et cetera. But in the world we live in, there's concerns and critiques about any and everything. I'm excited to build and create and do things that I've always imagined I wanted to do on the court and off. So I think it's a beautiful collaboration, and I'm excited.
As for Antonio Brown, who infamously walked out of a game before it ended last season, he said in a statement Tuesday night that he supports Ye and remains Donda Sports president. ESPN contacted the NFL, the NBA, and their players' associations. They confirmed Donda Sports has not been representing any player in either league in contract negotiations. An NFLPA spokesman added that no one from Donda Sports has even applied to become a certified contract advisor. Both the union and the NFL also said that Aaron Donald's severing of ties with West speaks to their position on the matter as well.
Donald saying around the same time that his family would leave Donda Sports, he said that the remarks from Kanye West, the exact opposite of how we choose to live our lives and raise our children. Rams and 49ers match up this weekend. Rams coach Sean McVay.
It's about the Rams versus the 49ers. I got respect for Kyle, but, our job is to try to put our players in the right positions, give clarity to them, make good decisions, as good as we possibly can during the course of the game, and then let our guys go do their thing.
Kyle he refers to, fellow coach Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, it's one like Christian. It's always a lot more fun. I don't see it much as creative juices versus the Rams. I mean, we don't change much. They don't change much. We do the same thing each time. They do too. Their scheme hasn't changed in a number of years, and neither has ours. You try your hardest to get good players the ball in space, and you see what they do with it. And it's a pretty simple game with both of us because we know each other well, and it usually comes into a physicality game and who turns the ball over the least and who makes one more play than the others.
Shanahan and the Niners going in with Christian McCaffrey for the run game. Straight ahead, the struggling team that does not have a new coach. That's next. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's Greeny, and we are ready for a big day on Thursday, including zoning in on the start of the NFL weekend. What does Lamar and Brady have in store for us? Plus, Game 1 of the World Series is Friday. It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Don't miss Trav and Slee.
Weekday mornings after Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Max.
Okay, look, I get it. I don't look like George Clooney or Brad Pitt or Denzel. Okay, I'm not that guy. I'm not the handsome guy. I've come to terms with it. It's fine. But do I look like Jack Nicholson from The Departed? That seems aggressive.
Trav and Slee, live from LA Live. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
To you, my love, my heart I surrender just as soon as I deal with yonder fender bender. Cause my ice cream truck is the way I make cash. So I'll buy you a ring when I lose this dress rash.
Owning a small business isn't always as lovely as it sounds, but at least Progressive Commercials saves you money with personalized discounts. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I'm gonna make you so happy sometime next year, I hope.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
You are never too old for a family. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is dedicated to finding forever families for children who have been waiting in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Transitioning out of the military, it's difficult. Just about everything around you changes. I would get phone calls that brothers were dying, some of them to suicide. And I'd found myself in another cold cemetery. And I started to wonder if I was next. It's a struggle to know that you're facing challenges, but not be ready to face them. Sleep doesn't come easy. And when it comes, it doesn't last long. You're tired all the time. I didn't reach out for that help, but thank God my wife did. She got me registered for Wounded Warrior Project. Talking to somebody that would listen to me and understood my story helped me realize that it was time to change. There's a new fight. There's a new mission, and that's something I'm eternally grateful for.
See how we help warriors combat stigma at woundedwarriorproject.org/combat stigma.
Hey, son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it.
When your kid can't find the language, find the lyrics. Start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max in the morning on LA's mega sports station. LA Sports Talk all day long. 710 ESPN.
Sports Center All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
Sports Center All Night presented by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career path with flexibility and great pay and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. Bundle at progressive.com.
Half-hour headlines on Sports Center All Night.
Eagles acquiring Pro Bowl defensive end Robert Quinn from the Bears. Lakers have played 4 games this season. They've lost all 4. Bucks beat the Nets in Milwaukee, and yes, there was more drama for Brooklyn.
KD, look out from behind. Holiday almost got it. Gives to Irving. Middle of the floor, down the lane. Leaves it off for Simmons. Outside Durant. Pump fake, moves left, foul line, pull up. Short rolls in for KD. He's got 19, and the Nets have their largest lead of the game. A 12-point lead, 62-50, with 8:50 to go in the third.
Pretty straightforward play, right? WFAN with the call. I'm going to play it for you again, and this time I want you to listen because it was in the third quarter. Nets had the ball, and here's what you're listening for. Kyrie drives down the lane, dishes it off to Ben Simmons in the paint. Simmons gets the ball with a few defenders around him, takes a dribble, passes it back out to Durant at the top of the arc. Simmons never really looked at the hoop. Durant then pulled up for a jumper from the free throw line. But as Simmons passed it to Durant, you can hear, "Shoot it, Ben," from Kyrie Irving. Listen carefully.
KD, look out from behind. Holiday almost got it. Gives to Irving. Middle of the floor, down the lane. Leaves it off for Simmons. Outside Durant.
One more time.
KD, look out from behind. Holiday almost got it. Gives to Irving. Middle of the floor, down the lane. Leaves it off for Simmons.
Shoot it, Ben. ESPN's Nick Friedel was there.
It's never a dull moment in Nets world. That is for sure. And after the game, I asked Kyrie not only about that sequence and telling Simmons to shoot, but after that, he went on a pretty strong defense on Ben Simmons and his short-term future with this team.
When I passed it to him, I felt like he had a layup at the rim, and I looked him eye to eye, and I was like, shoot it, Ben. And, of course, again, it's just a clip. It's a full game that we can look at and dissect, and that's what I'll do. This is a big picture thing. We want Ben to be aggressive every single play. I'm not trying to just be critical over what Ben's done right or done wrong every single night. He's a basketball player. He's a professional. He has the skills to be a great professional. He's done it in the past, and he hasn't played in 2 years. So you guys keep coming here asking me, like, what about Ben? What about Ben? And it's just, he hasn't played in 2 years. Give him a chance. You know what I mean? We stay on his I wish I could say other words because I'm from Jersey, but you just stay on him. And, you just stay on him, and we're just here to give him positive affirmations while he's out there and just let him move.
It really felt like they were standing up for a little brother after the game. As bad as the vibes have been around this team for months, they remain strong even after tonight. And I think that is crucial to understand. Now, as far as Simmons goes, he said, I know I have to be better, but he said he feels more comfortable offensively, and that is going to be very important, not only going into the Dallas game tomorrow, but in the weeks ahead for a team that needs him to be the player he used to be.
Through Brooklyn's first 4 games, Ben Simmons has yet to have more than 7 points in a game. He's got 21 points in 117 minutes of action, shooting 9 for 20 overall. Bucks beat the Nets 110-99. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 43 points in the win, 34 of them in the second half. He spoke with Armonica McNutt.
Giannis, a terrific win. 9 points in the first half, 34 in the second half for you. What did you tell yourself at halftime?
Nothing. I just keep trusting myself. I've worked extremely hard in my life. I just gotta trust myself, trust my abilities, trust my teammates. And at the end of the day, I think it's a maturity level. I'm okay with scoring 9 points in a half. I'm okay with scoring 15 points in a game or 2 points in a game. At the end of the day, it's all about winning. And as long as I play within my strength, I can help my team win, and that's what I did tonight.
We all marvel at your humility, but I want to share this stat with you. You have 2 games of 40 points and 10 rebounds so far this season. The rest of the league combined has just 1. What are you chasing?
I'm not chasing nothing. I'm okay with myself. I'll say it over and over again. I just trying to enjoy the game as much as possible, have fun, and try to win. I think when you go home and you win the game, you feel really good about yourself.
Giannis Antetokounmpo and Milwaukee getting the win on Wednesday. Bucks 3-0 on the season, only unbeaten team remaining in the Eastern Conference. Kevin Durant at 33 points, Kyrie Irving 27 in the Nets loss. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio. Speaking of losses, the Lakers take another one. In Denver, they lose to the Nuggets 110-99. Nikola Jokic with 31 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists in the win for Denver. In the loss, LeBron James, 19 points, 8 turnovers, tied for his most as a member of the Lakers. LA shooting 22% from three-point range, and they fall to 0-4. ESPN analyst Tim Legler.
Right now, they're probably a bottom 5 team in the NBA. I mean, that's just being realistic and being truthful about it, because you're talking about a league built to spread the floor and shoot 30, 35, 43s a night. That's the way the league looks. And you have gone into the season with a roster, Scott, that doesn't have one pure shooter on it. And I was thinking about it today. They don't even really have an above average NBA three-point shooter on their entire roster. When you talk about guys that are shooting to 38 to 45%, that's not who these guys are. And yet your star players are guys that are designed to draw multiple defenders. So you just did not take the right approach with who you were going to put on the floor around your star players. I don't know what the fix is for this, because the only thing you could potentially do to keep your head above water is, short of going out and making some roster acquisitions, which aren't going to be easy this early in the season, is to grind it out by being a great defensive team. And the problem they're going to have is, and you and I talk a lot of football, and it reminds me of a football team in this respect. When your defense is ready to play and they're doing their thing on an NFL game, and the offense has a series of 3-and-outs and turnovers, eventually that defense gets dispirited, they lose concentration, and they give up some big plays. You can't ask teams to grind it out defensively every night when you were that shorthanded in terms of firepower on the other end of the floor, while teams load up in the lane and dare you to shoot the basketball. It's just you can see their body language change as the game goes on, and more of those shots are missed. So it really is mainly a personnel issue that is not going to be an easy fix anytime soon.
And for the second time in LeBron James' career, he's on a team that starts 0-4. The other was his rookie season of 2003. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. Jazz an 8-point win over the Rockets, 109-101. Utah 4-1 start in back-to-back seasons. And for the third time in the last four, they're averaging 118, almost 119 points per game this season. Knicks and Hornets wound up in overtime.
Knicks have 10 to shoot, 28 seconds left. Brunson spinning to Randall, high left, 5 to shoot. Randall makes his move, 3 to shoot. The drive, the runner, got it. Julius Randle with the finish, 19.2 to go. Timeout Charlotte. The Knicks 132 and the Hornets 129 in OT.
Knicks win it 134-131, 98.7 ESPN New York. Knicks are 3-0 at home this season, 3-1 overall. They start 3-1 for the second straight season. Bulls top the Pacers 124-109. Chicago led by as many as 24, and they go on to the win. Pacers with back-to-back losses. They've lost 4 of their 5 games this season. Timberwolves 134-122 over the Spurs. Timberwolves 134 points, second most against San Antonio all time. And the Hawks get a season-high 35 from Trae Young as they beat the Pistons 118-113. Those teams meet again on Friday. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. We're heading into week 8 of the NFL season. Quarterback news. The Saints are sticking with Andy Dalton at quarterback. Coach Dennis Allen calling the move an offensive decision. Then there's New England. Bill Belichick playing a couple of quarterbacks in the Monday night loss to Chicago. Mac Jones says he wants to start this week against the Jets. Jones taking about 90% of the first team reps at practice Wednesday and will start, a source telling ESPN's Field Yates. But earlier Wednesday, Bill Belichick was asked about it.
Is that something that would be...
We're not doing anything here. We haven't practiced. We're going to go out and we're going to see how it goes today. All right?
What would decide?
It will see how it goes today.
But what do you have to see today?
We'll see how it goes today.
Bill Belichick sticking to the message. Belichick insisting that Mac Jones was not benched. And sources telling our Field Yates that Mac Jones will be back on the field as the starter. The Broncos' Russell Wilson says he's ready to roll and that he intends to play against the Jaguars in the overseas game this weekend. Broncos coach Nathaniel Hackett saying Wednesday that Wilson is trending towards being able to play Sunday in Wembley against Jacksonville. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. Aaron Rodgers, he's been in the spotlight with the Packers continuing to struggle.
One of those guys has a problem with it. I'm right here. I'd love to have a conversation. I enjoy those conversations, I enjoy any type of conflict like that because I know the resolution on the other side is going to make us, a better unit, a better friendship, a better cohesion on the field. But nobody's come to me and said, I got a problem with what you said. I think everybody knows, Matt included, that, everything's got to take a little uptick, get a little better accountability for all of us. So, you're making the right plays, you're in the right spot at the right time, you're going to get opportunities. If you're not, there's consequences. And I think we can all agree on that. When you're struggling on offense, you got to look at everything and the details. When there's just, there's been too many, what seem like simple mental errors. And, I'm not a robot up here. So I think people in this society have a hard time hearing the truth sometimes.
Packers are 3-4 on the season. Aaron Rodgers has been critical thus far in the season. Earlier on ESPN Radio, our Chris Canty says he shouldn't be.
Aaron Rodgers, I respect you as the quarterback of the team, but you're not the head coach of the team. You're not. And it feels like there's an overstep when it comes to some of the public commentary that he's making about what's going on. And that, to me, is a poor leadership style. And then, taking it a step further, a couple of weeks ago, he also said He had this glowing relationship with Brian Gutekunst, and if we need to make a move at the trade deadline, I'm pretty confident that we're going to do that. Aaron Rodgers, you're the quarterback, bro. You're not the head coach. You're not the GM. You talk about not usurping the authority of your head coach, but it sure doesn't feel like you respect his authority when you make these kind of public comments, because you're throwing your teammates under the bus and then you're throwing the bus in reverse and backing up over them. And these are guys that you're going to need in order to get to where you want to go.
And earlier on Barton Hahn, the guy said that Aaron Rodgers isn't the only one doing it.
But what is one thing that we've seen from LeBron that I think Aaron Rodgers never had to deal with until now? LeBron, if you remember, when he went back to Cleveland, what did he do? What was the first thing? And everybody says, he didn't do this, but he did. Yes. All the kids, out. Give me some vets. I can only work with vets because they get it. I don't have time to wait for a young player to develop. I don't have time to teach. It's not my job. I want to win. I want to win now. Get me vets. Aaron Rodgers is saying essentially the same exact thing. I don't have time to take these guys under my wing and teach them and bring them along. My clock is ticking. I want to win. That's why he wanted Randall Cobb back, because Randall Cobb gets it. He knows what I want. That's why he wanted vets.
See, but
he's begging for veterans. He's begging for guys who I don't have to school. I don't have to teach them. They'll be ready. I take care of me. They take care of them. And on Sunday, they do what they're supposed to do, and they're where I need them to be. That's what Aaron Rodgers is essentially saying here.
Barton Hahn, weekdays starting at noon here on ESPN Radio. There have been a pair of veteran quarterbacks struggling throughout this first half of the season. Aaron Rodgers, one of them, the other, Tom Brady, and he returns to the field Thursday night.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and 1. Fakes the handoff, runs it himself. He's got the first down, and he, to the goal line, has the Baltimore touchdown.
Brady before net at the 10, cuts it in 5, crashing into the end zone for the touchdown.
Ravens and Buccaneers.
I think there's a times where he almost goes into hero ball and try to do a little too much. I think that's where he gets himself into a little bit of problems, where in the past, he's really let the game come to him. I think in the past 4 games in particular, he's tried to maybe force something, and that's where he's got his problems.
And the fact that it's a whole new remade interior, you can just see it watching Brady. He's just not comfortable stepping into his throws. And I think it's causing him to kind of panic a little bit. He's not necessarily taking more hits, but he's throwing the ball down at the ground quite a bit. There's been a lot of low throws.
The running game, even though it's been productive, has not been as dominant. And some of that is because of the rotation they've had to go through with running backs because of injuries, whether it's a J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Kenyon Drake, Justice Hill. They've gone through them all. And I think right now with Gus Edwards coming back and looking really strong this past week, I think this might be a kind of a turning point for the Ravens.
The offense has just, their production from 1 year ago, it has just taken an absolute nosedive. They were averaging 30 points a game through 7 games last year. They're not even averaging 17 points a game now this year.
So who you got?
I actually have the Ravens, and I know a lot of Bucs fans aren't going to want to hear that.
I have Tampa Bay winning 24-23.
Ravens, Bucks, Thursday Night Football. ESPN reporters Jenna Lane and Jamison Hensley. A first that we saw in the NBA Wednesday. That's next. Sports Center All Night continues. It's ESPN Radio.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Based on what Bill Belichick is saying, he is really conflicted on whether or not Dr. Z is the quarterback or Mac Jones will be the quarterback moving forward.
More from TJ and Max Thursday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. More Sports Center All Night. Next.
Wake up with Key, J. Will, and Max.
Nobody does LA mornings like KJM.
Yes, that is correct, KM. We just said KM. We just skipped over to J.
No, he just gave my initials, I think, but you reversed them. MK.
Oh, MK. No, but Kellerman.
Yeah, Kellerman.
Oh, Kellerman. Don't worry, J-Dub. I got you.
Welcome to KM in the morning. And Jay.
And Jay.
LA Mornings with LA Zone. Keyshawn. Tomorrow morning till 10 a.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Fuel economy is more important than ever, and Kia of Carson just received a huge shipment of 2023 Kia Niro hybrids, which get an EPA estimated 54 highway miles per gallon and combine great styling with all the latest technology. For something larger, Sorento and Sportage hybrids are flowing in daily. Or reserve the new 2023 Telluride, arriving later this month. As one of the largest Kia dealerships in the U.S., we have access to over 500 vehicles every month. So find your next ride at Kia of Carson off the 405 freeway or at KiaofCarson.com.
Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, that frog will boil. As a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans, it's a story that rings true. We learn to endure the heat in silence. We apply what we learn to life, the bills, the job, the family, things we're expected to handle with ease. When life heats up around us, we just try to stay afloat. We let the water boil. Reaching out isn't easy, but you've never been interested in easy. You join because you are not afraid of hard work. You are not a frog. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait until the water boils. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. And in 09, it was sparks from me, your chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Sports Center All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
As always, we're taking you to Key, Jay, and Max, 6 o'clock Eastern time here on ESPN Radio and Sports Center All Night, presented by Progressive Insurance. We're still another day away from the start of the World Series. Phillies going with Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler in the first two games, Friday and Saturday. Nola, 18 strikeouts in his 3 starts this postseason. Wheeler with 25 in his 4 starts in the playoffs. Manager Rob Thompson, concerned about Houston stealing signs?
Well, it's not just the Astros. I think we're constantly looking at our pitchers, our infielders, our catchers, as to are they ever giving something away, whether it's pitches, whether it's location, that type of thing. And for me personally, there's no extra motivation just because of that to beat the Astros. I just want to win a World Series.
So no bitterness that they may have bend the rules?
No.
Game 1 of the World Series, Friday. You'll hear every pitch of the World Series, as always, here on ESPN Radio. As for Wednesday's Top Sounds, we turn to Doug Brown. Let's bring in Mark Robbins.
Number 4.
Jay, the 76ers got big games from Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, but it wasn't enough against the Raptors in Toronto. Tom McGinnis with the call on 97.5, The Fanatic.
Embiid into the lane, reverse layup along the right baseline, and good. Joel, a dozen baskets in the game, 31 points.
Number 3.
The Bulls ripped the Pacers in Chicago, led by Zach LaVine. The call from 670, the score.
Caruso, right corner, Levine spots up for 3. Yes, it's raining trays here at the United Center. Bill, get out the umbrellas.
Eric, falling from the sky.
Number 2.
In Salt Lake City, the Jazz go to 4-1 with an 8-point win over the Rockets, leading the way with 24 points. Lauri Markkanen from 97.5 The Zone.
Marking on the left side, pocket pass. He drives, he rises, he double punches, he ripped it home. Oh my goodness, Lowry Markkanen, don't do me like that. What a dunk by Markkanen in a double clutch in traffic.
Number 1.
Tipping off our ESPN NBA doubleheader Wednesday night, the Bucks hosting the Nets, and Milwaukee stays unbeaten with a huge night from Giannis Antetokounmpo. Mark Jones with the call.
Antetokounmpo with the board. Downhill at Simmons. Double game, it didn't matter. He put Simmons in the weight room, saying he's too little. That's back-to-back 40-piece games for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis and Milwaukee getting the win. One other note from that Bucks win over the Nets. We had a first for Brooklyn coach Steve Nash.
Durant got his arm grabbed. There was no call, but a technical foul on Steve Nash. He's being held back by Jacques Vaughn right now. As angry as I've ever seen Steve Nash. Held back by 3 players. He might have got tossed.
WFAN with the call. Steve Nash ejected for the first time in his coaching career. Happened in the third quarter, frustrated with several calls during the game, but it boiled over with about 4.5 to go in the third.
I was just standing up for our guys. I thought Patty took a forearm in the throat from Giannis right in front of the ref, and I didn't think that was fair. So I don't think I was overly demonstrative, and I was upset that I got attacked.
Steve, what was the explanation they gave you?
There wasn't an explanation, really. It was just, it's a lot going on out there. So what happened. I said my piece on the court, and that's really all there is.
And as you heard, several players and coaches trying to hold Nash back as he was furious. ESPN's Nick Friedel was on hand.
That's as angry as I've seen Nash since he's been the coach in Brooklyn. He was heated. And I can tell you, watching the players watch Nash, they were into it. They were patting him on the butt as he was walking off the floor. They were smiling as he was standing up for them. I know it doesn't look good right now because the Bucks came back behind Giannis, but I think this moment could actually help the camaraderie of a group that has been fractured in the past. They want to see that fire from Steve Nash. He provided it in the moment, and maybe they can get an emotional lift moving forward, knowing that Nash is behind them, and they think they can get more from Ben Simmons as well.
Nets losing, but it could be a spark in the long run. Still looking for a spark in L.A. Lakers fall to 0-4. Can Tampa Bay find a spark tonight as Week 8 gets underway? And for the Ravens, what would be their key to success? ESPN Dan Orlovsky.
I would gut this defense with my run game. The reality is, Baltimore, this is a very simple mindset in a short week. We are one of the best running offenses in football. We average 3.8 yards per carry before we get hit. You know what's happened a lot against Baltimore recently is teams are pressuring their open side. What I mean by open is there's no tight end there. It's just the offensive tackle. And they're trying to close everything down. Be ready for that and gut it. Okay. Shut it down when they stunt. You shut it down, and let's get downhill. Challenge this Tampa Bay defense that was awful last week with their discipline and their rush integrity, their gap integrity in the run game. See if they fixed it on a 3-day week, a 4-day week, because I don't think they can, right? Don't make this pressure situation about Lamar. Run it right down their throat.
Tampa Bay's dropped 2 of its 3 home games this season. That'll do it for SportsCenter all night. I'm Jay Reynolds. It's Thursday, October 27th. Lee Greenwood turns 80 today. God bless the USA. Ben Simmons isn't scoring. Lakers are 0-4. Can the Bucks get back on track tonight against the Ravens? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max have it all next at ESPN Radio.
Coming up next, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Don't miss Trav and Slee.
Weekday mornings after Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
John in Huntington Beach writes, you can never be bitten by a mosquito ever again, but you have to give up your eyebrows forever. Do you do it?
No. I've got a lot of eyebrows. So it's part of my...
Well, maybe that's
part of who I am.
There you go. It's part of your identity.
Part of who I am.
Trav and Slee, live from LA Live. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Want to be a fly on the wall at Nat Geo's headquarters? Well,
With the Overheard podcast, you can. From smuggled dinosaur bones to man-made glaciers, each episode takes a dive into the curious conversations that occur behind the scenes at National Geographic. Overheard is presented by Geico. Millions of ESPN sports fans count on Geico for reliable car insurance and low, low rates. Visit geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the sheep sleeps tonight. Oh, in the jungle, the quiet jungle, the sheep sleeps tonight.
It just isn't the same without the lion. Join the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance today. Visit sdzwa.org.
Every year across America, a staggering 4.2 million youth are homeless or trafficked. Covenant House is the national leader providing safe housing for youth, 50 years strong. Help us fight youth homelessness.
This story here, he is.
Great to see the other side. I mean, sometimes we just look at the name and the score. I know he's struggling today, but then when you, as Amanda detailed his journey, it puts a totally different light on it. It's
Good look at it here for Japan's Ryuta Suzuki. He's 4 under par.
yeah, slightly uphill, plays about 2 yards uphill. The second shot here at 18, that flag just only 5 or 6 paces on. Width to that swing. Not beyond the green, but it's not too bad. It's fairly flat around the front.
Day one takeaway, Frank, what is it?
I just look at the leaderboard. You know, it was a bit like last year. Jin got off to a great start. I know he didn't take it all the way through to the finish. He was beaten by the number 1 amateur in the world, but you know, he's in that same position basically again. I mean, I think that's hats off. I mean, it's the story of the day, but TK, all the talk was about him coming in. He has not disappointed. His name is on that front page of the leaderboard, but I'm impressed. These are not household names, all the others yet, but if you watch them on the range, it's very hard to sort of single out who's the best player in the field.
I think TK has a real chance to be special.
Oh, he does. But you know, this game, it doesn't play favorites. So really, the day belongs to Bo Jin.
And we thought we would see low scores because of the soft conditions after the heavy rains overnight. They were playing lift clean in place, and they really did take advantage. 7 under, Bo Jin is leading. Great thanks to Sellers Shy and Mike Crow leading all of the hardworking women and men in the truck and on the ground. For my partner, Frank Nobilo, Paul Gow, Colt Knost, and Amanda Renner. I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now from Amata Spring Country Club in Chonburi outside of Bangkok, Thailand, and the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship.
Feels good about how we played or what we're doing.
Back to the drawing board will go the Bucks in a short week of prep for the Baltimore Ravens.
I'm trying to win versus anybody I play. I don't really dwell on one player.
Touchdown, Ravens!
Well, it's Brady. One player against Brady. He the GOAT.
Nothing in this game is given to you. You got to go do something about it.
Going to war with my boys. Let's get it.
We just got to go find a way to get a win.
Keyshawn, J. Willimax on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app. Click more on the lower right-hand corner of the app. Scroll down to live radio, and you find us right there. You have us live wherever you are. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. Morning, Key. Morning, Jay.
What up, baby? What up, Key? Hey, good to see you, Joe.
Giving us the wave, just the wave.
Country Club wave. Yep.
How you doing?
Good.
Oh,
how's that portfolio performing, Key?
It's good, man. I'm, smoked my last pack last night. I'm done.
That's what it sounds like.
What, did you have a cigar?
What? Oh man, my voice. When you are traveling and moving around and talking with Max for 10 hours and you for 8. So at some point your voice, I got 8 with you, 10 with Max, 6 with Laura, Stephen A screaming at him, all that. You get your voice, you got to rest these. I need to go to your guy.
What? Arthur Joseph. You never heard this? You never heard of the whole voice warm up? We had it's really unique New York, things like that. You work on
New York.
Jay allowed somebody to tell him he needed a voice coach or something.
Arthur Joseph is he's class act, but they teach.
Oh, absolutely, class act.
With a name like Arthur Joseph, no kidding.
One of the greatest broadcasting coaches in the history of broadcasting.
Arthur Joseph sounds like he should have his name on a building somewhere, right?
It does sound like the Arthur Joseph.
But Jay,
Arthur Joseph School.
Jay let somebody talk him into being a newscaster, though. That's
The Palm was telling me just to be myself, Key. Just be yourself, Jay.
My agent told me to go. To visit the guy when I was coming out of college. And I went, I was like, Jay, you really getting ready to make me waste my money? Are you serious?
But Max, they make you put the index finger and your middle finger on your teeth and you rest your tongue in between. And the whole exercise is to, you talk through your diaphragm. So that you go, That's what they make you do over and over and over and over.
Now we basically do that on this show all day.
That's what we do.
Hey, Jay, if you'd have continued to take those classes, you think Dion was on that guy the other day. Imagine what he did to you.
Can you imagine before doing the biggest events, like before you're doing the Super Bowl or NBA Finals, you're on the sideline. LeBron's like, what the hell are you doing?
You could be a part of Keyshawn J. Willimax Nation on the Dr. Pepper call-in line. Call us at 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. ESPN Nation's presented by Dr. Pepper. It ain't college football season without the delicious taste of an ice cold Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve. Well, fellows, the Ravens at the Bucks on Thursday night. That's tonight. That is this. I mean, we've had some bad matchups the last 3-4 weeks going
First matchup, Thursday night matchup was like the epitome. Like, wow.
There were a couple good ones early. They got you. They kind of reel you in a little bit. And then 3-4 in a row, you're like, oh, man, I don't want to watch this.
I don't even remember. Who was it? Like
Me neither, Key. I remember one good, though. Last 3-4 weeks.
Because I guess I played so I can find anything to make me like the game.
Right. What week 2 was Chargers and Chiefs, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a great one. We all watched that together.
We all watched that one together. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, we watched that.
Here's Bears.
2.
I was at that game.
Yeah. Saints, Cardinals.
No, 3. I'm not. Who cares?
And I was fine because I wanted to see the Saints.
No, I get it, Keith, for you, but these are not marquee matchups. Those early matchups were great. My point is, this one is like the early ones. Ravens at Bucks, because in primetime, because these are two quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson and Tom Brady, that really need a win. They need to look good, but only one of them can win tonight. Lamar Jackson on facing Tom Brady.
Brady, who want to play against Brady? Well, he the GOAT, man, and like you said, I'm always playing against the defense, not the quarterback. So I'm going to every game the same way, same mentality. Just want to go out there and do what I'm supposed to do to win.
You think, Key?
Exactly. Lamar could care less about Tom Brady. Respect, I already hear what he's saying. Respect to Tom Brady, but I'm going to do what I need to do. And I'm going to help my team win. We're not getting ready to sit around and praise Tom Brady. We getting ready to do what we need to do. And I don't play against him. I play against the defense. And that's what he's saying. And hats off to him. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are missing a lot of players in this particular football game. And I think Lamar has an opportunity to really gash them in the running game. Their run defense and their run fits are horrible right now for the Bucs. And if he could somehow establish that run, then they'll have an opportunity to take some shots over the top because those safeties and those linebackers start peeking and getting nosy, and that's when you hit them over the top.
You see, this is an unforgiving league. And let me tell you something. Whether you Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, whether you're Tom Brady, any of these legendary GOATs, when people smell blood in the water, I'm going for the kill. Because now you're not going to get up on my watch. And as Key mentioned, so many people are out. Tom's going through, quote unquote, allegedly issues off the field. This is the time for me to keep my foot on your neck and not let you get up.
When I'm going to take you. Hey, Key, let me take you back to 1951. I'm not even kidding. You know why Joe DiMaggio eventually retired? Got his hands on a scouting report. So like the greatest player ever, but he gets his hands on their scouting report. He reads what the league thinks about him, and he's like, okay, I'm done. I gotta go. That's how it is. Like when you scout, like what does Brady look like right now? Doesn't look good, Key.
No, he doesn't. But Antoine Winfield Jr.'s out. Russell Gage is out. Carlton Davis is out. Sean Murphy Bunting's out.
Cam Brate. Cam Brate, their starting guard,
Brate,
Luke Gadecki
I'm just thinking more of on the defensive side because of Lamar.
Yeah.
That's a lot in that secondary that's out. And like I said, you start to get guys that are not used to playing in there being nosy and sneaking down and putting their nose in other people's business. That's when Lamar has the opportunity to go over the top. One of the things that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they like to do is they like to blitz. They like to bring a lot of pressure. And over the last 4 weeks or so, Lamar Jackson has suffered a little bit against the blitz, particularly in the fourth quarter. He struggled. He dominated maybe week 1 through 3. And then since then, he's obviously struggled. He's hit 82% in week 1 through 3 and then 46% since then. So he has an opportunity, though, in the running game to really get after them.
Key, that's why Lamar Jackson needs to win this game the most. Because of Tom Brady's roster being depleted, essentially, right? Because of his O-line, because of all the players that are missing, because of the built-in excuse already, all the things that are happening off the field. Like Lamar Jackson now, they've not been strong. They have not closed out games that we feel like they should have won.
In the meantime, Brady, as you said, Lamar needs to win more for that reason, maybe. But Brady, who right now is they lose, they're on a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah,
right?
but you would understand though, even in that division though, Max, if they lose, they're still going to be there to compete.
They can't run. The Bucs can't run the ball, and they're missing an offensive lineman and a tight end. And they already can't run the ball. And Jensen is out for the season before the season began. Like, it's a problem for Brady. You're right. Lamar's got to take advantage of that. But Brady loses and looks bad. The whispers grow louder and louder.
Louder for what?
You think it gets? I think it is where it is, Max. I don't think it looks bad considering everybody's out right now.
I think it looks bad for Tom Brady.
Man, that dude 100 years old and he ain't got no players.
See, father time. That's what I'm saying. But that starts to play into it.
That's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't make him look bad.
Well,
dude has 7 championships.
If you want to say that, then he can't look bad. Nothing can happen that could make him look bad. But they came into this season with title hopes. They lose this game. The Bucs lose this game. What do you think about those title hopes?
Detroit came in with title hopes. Move along, Max.
Oh, yeah. Detroit was exactly like Tampa. Russell Wilson, meantime, said he worked out for 4 hours during the Broncos' 8-hour flight to London. High knees and everything.
What?
Has he worn out his welcome in Denver? After Jay has this from FanDuel.
Football season is underway. 4 hours on the plane, huh?
Get your guy, Jay.
I have to talk to him. Football season is underway, so now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's right. That's free bets back if your first bet doesn't win. It's easy. Listen to this. Just sign up with promo code PLAY. The app is safe, secure, and super easy to use. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from the money line, Alan Yates, to point spreads, to player props. So sign up today with promo code PLAY for your no-sweat first bet. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus in select states. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP Louisiana. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369 in New York. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789 in Tennessee. 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia.
It's the Subway Series menu. 12 irresistible subs. The most epic sandwich roster ever created. It's Subway's biggest refresh yet.
What do you mean the connecting rooms were not confirmed?
Exactly, not confirmed.
We need to be able to see our kids.
You'll be able to see them.
When you want your kids in a room that's actually connecting, it matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
More truck owners are switching to Ram, which means more people behind the grill are switching to Ram.
Gonna flip that?
And more people behind the grill. More first leg of the road trips. More uncles who take Thanksgiving football games too seriously. And more people who can't resist telling you that the leaves are changing.
Leaves are changing.
Are switching to Ram.
Now get 0% financing plus $2,000 total bonus cash on the 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab.
It's big, it's back, and it's still $6. Get the big box y'all love today.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Red Bull gives you wings.
In 3 seconds, 15 couples will share a perfect moment.
Wow! But we gotta sell our houses.
Well, almost perfect.
My place is too small, your place is too far. Selling them means repairs, listings, cleaning. What's the market even like? This could take like forever.
Or more like days. Skip the hassles and sell with confidence to Opendoor. Done.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Request a cash offer at opendoor.com.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Try free at FuboTV.com.
The first time you made a sale online was also the first time you heard of a town named
Dinosaur. We just got an order from Dinosaur, Colorado.
Start an easy-to-build, powerful website for free with a partner that always puts you first. GoDaddy, tools and support for every small business first.
This might be the most emotionally charged match of the modern era.
So Black Girl Hockey Club is all about building a community within the community.
A heart-pounding atmosphere.
This is the loudest it has ever been here.
I tried everything to remove fabric odors, but my clothes still smelled. Until I finally found New Downy Rinse and Refresh. It doesn't just cover odors, it helps remove them up to 3 times better than detergent alone. Find New Downy Rinse and Refresh in the fabric softener aisle.
What will you do? What will you change? Will you make something better? will you create something entirely new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with the tools and expertise you need to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. Mission Control, we are go to launch.
She's eating the rocket.
Lunchables, built to be eaten.
Sweet in the afternoon down. If you find time, we can run one. Talk about some things we can undo. You just in the pen, I can find you. 6-1 on the money, 9-2. You just say the word and I run to it. 2 texts, no reply, that's when I knew. Yeah, so you navigate the globe as the cash grows. Get it.
So guys,
Russell Wilson.
When you say that name, what do you think, Key? Look at Key.
Royal
If you guys
family.
can see the royal
you were asking
family.
Key, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Key.
I didn't say nothing.
Nah, Max and the royal family.
Well, you said when you think of Russell Wilson, what do you think?
No, I was going to let you go. I wasn't going to step on you.
I just don't like the way that you guys are positioning me as best friends with Russell Wilson.
You not have a relationship with Russell Wilson?
I've met Russell Wilson 2 times. But it's like you guys are saying, I go to London with him. I spend time, I don't, why, how did we come to this? How did I get put in this corner?
I don't think you're in a corner. It seems to me, Key, that Jay has always touted his relationship with Russell Wilson.
Oh, Key looks flabbergasted as if I'm bringing this out of left field.
So
just think about what you just said, Jay.
Flabbergasted? That word. So flabbergasted now gives me association with Russell Wilson. Give me association with Michael Eric Dyson. I'll take it. Flabbergasted. Say big words.
I didn't say.
Professor Dyson probably listening to us right now.
This is what happens.
No, all I said, Jay, was think about what you said. You said flabbergasted. I didn't say it. I just said think about what you just said, and I wasn't even talking about flabbergasted. I was talking about the initial conversation that you were having about us pitting you with Russell Wilson. You said flabbergasted, not me.
Keep saying the word.
He was dumbfounded when you said flabbergasted, as a matter of fact.
But I wasn't.
Anybody that says flabbergasted, now we're associated. I got it.
Well, listen.
Go ahead, Max. Take it away.
I don't know what issue you could possibly. Ones you can't depend on. You could drop this Houdini album today. I would love every song on it today. All right. Russell Wilson says he worked out for 4 hours during the Broncos' 8-hour flight to London. That's half the time.
Why even say this?
Well, in his mind, apparently he's saying something that puts him in a good light, right? You don't say stuff that puts you in a bad light normally. Here he is on what he did on the flight to London. Listen to this.
It was an 8-hour flight here. That's the first 2 hours I was watching the film, watching all the cut-ups and everything else. And then for the next 4 hours, I was doing treatment on the plane. I was walking up and down the aisles. Everybody was knocked out. I was doing high knees and working on my legs and everything else, making sure I'm ready to rock. So that was good. And then the last 2 hours, the last hour of that, I fell asleep for 1 hour. And I watched the film the rest. So I feel great, ready to roll. I'm super locked in and ready to hopefully get a big win in London.
Is Key, look, on the one hand, you could say, well, he's saying stuff like this for show or doing it for show. Look at me look how I'm the quarterback, I'm a leader. On the other hand, he's probably asked a point blank question about what'd you do on the flight, right? And he's answering it. So what do you take away from what he just said?
Yeah, he worked out. He did push-ups, sit-ups, jogs, whatever he did on the plane, he did it. What I took away from it is, okay, I didn't take anything away from it. Let me start over again. I want him to just stop. That's what I want. Just stop. Just stop with always telling somebody what you're doing and how you're doing it. Just be the quarterback of the team, man. Just do those sort of things. Because when I think about it, not like Russell, I like him a lot. I've interviewed him a bunch. I've been around him a bunch. But I don't need to hear that you worked out for 4 hours on a plane and you studied up the film and while everybody else was sleeping. Like, I don't need to hear those sort of things. It's not going to make me think, oh, God, you're doing everything right and nobody else is doing anything. They're just sitting on the plane and sleeping while you're so in tune with doing everything. Because what's going to happen, man, is the things that's happening to him now. People think he's phony. People think he's a phony. It's all an act. And it shouldn't be that way because he's a good football player when everything is going right. And I just hate to see this happening to him. And eventually, like Mark Slayer said on our show the other day, his teammates are going to start side-eyeing him if they haven't already. And Mark Slayer, we got some sound of him on our show about a week ago talking about this very thing.
Obviously, you know what you're getting when he comes in, right? You know he's got the quirky, let's ride, and he's just a little bit okay. We get it. You're Mr. Positivity all the time, and everything is happy and all that, and that's fine when you're winning. But the tone deafness, I think, is what gets to people. Like, hey, we just set the league back 50 years in the way we played on Thursday night against the Indianapolis Colts, and the next day I'm releasing my new hat line. Like, stuff like that wears on people. Like everything right as I'm going into the stadium, there's a staged photo shoot as I go in. I know the social media team is posting it, but time and place, right? Let's understand the situation and how poorly we're playing as an offense and how poorly you're playing as a quarterback. And before we start promoting whatever it is we're promoting, let's actually play some decent football.
Well, so I agree with Mark and I disagree with Mark, right? Like, there is an element of Russell Wilson that is quirky, that seems a little bit cheesy, right? But you can't just all of a sudden change the schedule when you start promoting stuff because you're not playing well, right? You're still going to be a professional and do your Subway commercials, do all the things that you're supposed to be doing, right? So that's one. But it does feel interesting to me, though, Key, that I get he may not be the guy that everybody wants him to be. He may not be the guy that fits in, but I don't think he doesn't care. He still cares. Now, if it rubs teammates the wrong way that he's this way, I get it. But it's almost similar to Russell Westbrook in this regard, right? It seems like there is a compound type energy when these guys are down that it's like, we're going to kick them extra hard while they're down. The same with Russell Westbrook, right? Like, oh, is it? But when they start winning, it kind of goes away. But they both care about the way they play, and that says something to me. Like, it may not feel right, but at least they care. I know a lot of dudes who don't even care.
But
who don't give a damn.
Quarterback of the team, Key, when you say Russell Wilson, just stop. You mean like if he's asked a question about what he did on the plane, you say something like, had a good flight, getting ready to, prepare.
There you go, Coach.
It's easy. It's not that hard.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold something till we get back out of our break, Max, and I'm going to read something to both you and Jay. And I'm going to let you know where this comes from after I read it to you.
Excellent. All right.
Okay.
So we want you to weigh in, too, after Key does that. What are some of your flight preferences, habits, traditions, right, on the subject of Russell Wilson? Plus, Aaron Rodgers stands by his comments on the Packers offense. First, Key has this from O'Reilly.
Yeah, O'Reilly got me on this one. Just stay with me, Jay. I don't want to hear any laughs. I don't want to hear anything.
Don't say flabbergasted.
O'Reilly got me. No, not at all. Don't miss See Better. Drive safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts, where you get great deals on your wiper blades, okay? Headlight bulbs, cleaning products, and more. Get up to $20 gift card on select purchases at their professional parts people when even install your wiper blades for free. Get ready for the weather ahead during See Better Drive Safer Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stop by your local store and visit O'Reilly.com.
Hey, it's Greeny, and we are ready for a big day on Thursday, including zoning in on the start of the NFL weekend. What does Lamar and Brady have in store for us? Plus, Game 1 of the World Series is Friday. It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
This is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Red Bull gives you wings.
This is NFL Plus, and this is for the Sunday shifters, the game time babysitters, the cross-country long haulers, and the poolside ballers. This is for the OT stay-up-all-nighters, the never-miss-a-moment ride-or-diers, for the casual fan, the obsessed fan, for every fan. This is the NFL in your hand. Live games, replays, films, and shows. This is NFL Plus, your game on the go. NFL Plus. Start your free trial today.
A breakfast croissant plus seasoned potatoes for $3, and they're red shirting you?
It's just a standard work shirt.
Hey, way to stay humble, man.
Thank you, Reg.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
For you, I wish many things. To see all the world can be. But most of all, I wish you'll never stop wishing.
If you have diabetes, then getting on the Dexcom G6 is the single most important thing you can do. It eliminates painful finger sticks, helps lower A1C, and is covered by Medicare.
Before Dexcom G6, I was frustrated. All of that finger pricking and all that pain, my A1C was still stuck.
My diabetes was out of control. I was tired.
Dexcom G6 sends your glucose numbers to your phone or receiver without painful finger sticks. The arrow shows the direction your glucose is heading, up, down, or steady, so you can make better decisions about food and activity in the moment.
After using Dexcom G6, my A1C has never been lower. I lead line dancing 3 times a week, I exercise, and I'm just living a great life now.
It's so easy to use. Dexcom G6 has given me confidence and control that everything I need is right there on my phone.
Dexcom G6 is the #1 recommended CGM system by doctors and patients. Call now to get started.
Let's put the fire out, baby. Oh, we gotta show who the real dogs are. Let's go!
Renovating an RV like me, the last thing you want to have to deal with is going to buy something you need and not having enough money for it. With our Chime Spending account, we can get our paychecks up to 2 days early with direct deposit. So I get to focus on the fun stuff.
Introducing the premium collection at Fanatics.com. Stylish fan gear for fashionable fans. Shop Wear by Aaron Andrews, DKNY, Darius Rucker, Mitchell and Ness, and more. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
This is it. The big interview. Don't be nervous. You took classes from Yale in your bedroom, earned certificates from Google on that crowded, slightly stinky train ride, and went to Duke in your pajamas. So don't stop now.
You ready?
You're more than ready. Jump over the giant metaphorical pit of doubt. With over 5,000 courses and degrees from world-class institutions on Coursera. Learn without limits.
When Kanye West, the artist also known as Ye, launched Donda Sports early this year, he named former NFL receiver Antonio Brown the marketing agency's president. At the time, the agency's purported mission was to provide holistic support to athletes both during and beyond their sports careers. At the rate Donda Sports is going now, it won't have any clients to support. Its 2 big stars announced Tuesday night that in the wake of West's anti-Semitic comments, they are done with Donda 4 months after signing on. The Los Angeles Rams 8-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Aaron Donald issued a statement with his wife Erica. As parents and members of society, we felt a responsibility to send a clear message that hate words and actions have consequences. And Boston Celtics guard Jaylen Brown, a 2021 All-Star, said in a statement, I now recognize that there are times when my voice and my position can't coexist in spaces that don't correspond with my stance or my values, and for that reason, I am terminating my association with Donda Sports. Both statements are profound reversals of what Donald and Brown said when they signed with the controversial West. Donald said on the I Am Athlete podcast in May that the family atmosphere at Donda Sports, not just for him but also his wife, made it a no-brainer.
People have concerns or critiques about et cetera. But in the world we live in, there's concerns and critiques about any and everything. I'm excited to build and create and do things that I've always imagined I wanted to do on the court and off. So I think it's a beautiful collaboration, and I'm excited.
As for Antonio Brown, who infamously walked out of a game before it ended last season, he said in a statement Tuesday night that he supports Ye and remains Donda Sports president. ESPN contacted the NFL, the NBA, and their players' associations.
Joker has it inside the arc, guarded by Anthony Davis. It's an ISO, one-legged jump shot. Got it, nothing but net, right over Davis. Nikola Jokic tonight for Denver, 31, 13, and 8.
Jokic had 31 and 13, as you heard, and 8. Jamal Murray hit a big three-pointer. Denver Nuggets kept the Los Angeles Lakers winless on the season, 110-99. Was the final score Wednesday night. Last night, the Lakers remain in the company of Orlando and Sacramento as the only teams who have yet to win this season. I'm looking at next month. It's the 4th. They're 0-7. They get the Jazz at home. They got to win that one. Brooklyn Nets coach Steve Nash was ejected for the first time in his coaching career during the third quarter of Wednesday night's 110-99 loss to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Shoot the ball, Ben.
Nash seemed frustrated by several calls throughout the night, but his frustration boiled over with 4:24 left in the third when he believed Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo struck Nets point guard Patty Mills in the throat, and there was no foul call. And the Chicago Bears veteran pass rusher Robert Quinn traded to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for a 4th-round draft pick. Both teams announced the terms of the trade Wednesday afternoon, pending Quinn passing a physical. SportsCenter is brought to you by eBay Motors. We all know the game isn't over till it's over. So the next time you need parts for your car, don't call it quits. Go to eBay Motors. They have over 122 million parts to take your car into overtime. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Dance floor pro, I know, you know, I go.
Keyshawn J. Will Max, ESPN Radio. Key, you got me with a tease in the last segment. I'm very curious to know what you're about to tell us.
Well, you know what, Max and Jay? This is pertaining to quarterbacks, okay? To, in particular, guys that we've really been talking to about lately, Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. And so, number one, this is commandments of a quarterback. This is what a quarterback should be doing. Okay, number one, press or TV, agents or advisors, family or wives, friends and relatives, fans or hanger-ons. Okay, ignore them on matters of football. They don't know what happens in the building. That's number two. That's number one. Number two, don't forget to have fun, but don't be a class clown. Clowns and leaders don't mix. Clowns can't run a huddle. Number three, a quarterback throws with his legs more than his arms. Squat and run, fat quarterbacks can't avoid the rush. Number four, know your job code. This is not a game without errors. Keep yours to a minimum. So that means you need to study. Number five, know your own players. Who's fast, who can catch, who needs encouragement, be precise, know your opponent. Number six, be the same guy every single day, in condition preparing to lead, studying your plan. A coach can't prepare you for every adventure. Prepare yourself, and remember, impulse decisions usually equal what? Mistakes. Number seven, throwing the ball away is good. It's a good play. It's not a sack. Interceptions and fumbles are bad plays. Protect against those. Number eight, you must learn to manage the game. Personal, play call, motions, ball handling, proper reads, accurate throws, play fakes, clock. Don't you ever lose track of the clock. Number nine, passing stats and TD passes are not how you're going to be judged. Your job is to get your team in the end zone, and that's how you regain the judgment. Number 10, when all around the chaos, when you're around the chaos, you must be the hand that steers the ship. If you have a panic button, so will everyone else. So don't panic, or ship will eventually sink. Okay, here's the last and final one. Number 11, don't be a celebrity quarterback. We don't need any of those. We need a battlefield commanders that are willing to fight it out every single day, every week, in every single season. Don't be a celebrity quarterback. Lead their team. You lead your team to winning football games in every single way. Now, who you think that came from?
Bill Parcells.
And that applies to two quarterbacks, Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, in every single way. And they need to listen to that. You don't need to be a celebrity quarterback. You need to lead your team to victory. You need to encourage your teammates. You need to do all of those sort of things, and you don't need to make it about yourself. You don't need to make it about yourself. And that's where Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, I believe, go wrong all the time.
Yeah, that's.
I agree with that to an extent, Key. I do think things have transitioned, though, more to quarterback or athlete empowerment in football, where guys are building their brands. But I hear the overall gist about what you're saying about Aaron Rodgers. You know, we talked about this yesterday, pointing the fingers to others and not leading with himself accountability-wise. I feel you on that.
You know, I heard
feel him on that.
Key, it's funny because I clown Gettleman all the time as the Giants GM because I thought he was a terrible GM for the Giants. But he comes from a certain school of thinking, old school way of thinking. And when he drafted Daniel Jones, and I was like, what's he doing? What's he doing? And Jones hasn't looked. He looked on and off and spotty. Yeah, he's not going to be. But this year, in a right situation, looks good. He won Player of the Week, Offensive Player of the Week last week. And they asked him about it. It's a team. This is really a team award, blah, 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 blah. Move it along, right? Everyone's playing great. That's why that and moved it. He had that exact. He checks a lot of those boxes you just said. So when Gettleman said he's a professional quarterback and I made it a lot of fun, but I get what he means, and like you can apply those commandments to a guy like that and see how he's coming along, and you start to think maybe that guy can win a Super Bowl. And I get Rodgers and Russell Wilson's already won Super Bowls. Rodgers' talent is off the charts. Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl in a kind of style like that, though, but pre-celebrity, right? Running the football, playing defense, doing all those kind of things. And I hear it maybe because I grew up with that way of thinking, but it sounds right to me.
But that way of thinking, it still applies today. You cannot, I understand player empowerment, all that's fine. But if you start to focus in, no matter what position it is, if you start to focus in on self, you're going to destroy yourself because you become the butt of the joke. Russell Wilson is a meme right now. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The internet, as Jay knows, is undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He talked about working out on a plane. They start putting videos together of him running on the inside of a plane, doing high knees on a plane. He's become the butt of a joke. Now, whether or not he gives a damn, I don't know. But I can surely tell you his teammates are watching, and they're looking at those sort of things like Mark Slayer said.
So
if you are paying attention to the games like I do and like most people do, when he goes to the sideline, people are looking at him and going to see it. And when he's trying to high five guys, he has to walk out there and go toward them as they're going away from him to get the high five so he doesn't look silly.
So
I see those things.
So, Key, that's Russell Wilson, but you included Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
And applied it to Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
He stood by Rodgers, the comments about the Packers offense. He says no one
ingredients like shea butter and olive oil with natural exfoliants like sea salt and oatmeal. My dry skin disappeared, and I could actually feel the sea salt digging the dirt out of my pores. And the scents are amazing. My favorites are pine tar, wood barrel bourbon, and coconut castaway. Once you smell this, you'll never go back. Try it today at drsquatch.com.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Try free at FuboTV.com.
The first time your sales reached 100K was also the first time you hit this note. Save 20% with the lowest transaction fees and keep more of what you make with a partner that always puts you first. GoDaddy, tools and support for every small business first.
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan. 100% authentic fan gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
You deserve a better credit score. Whoa. Chime can help no matter where you're at. Whoa. Because with everyday purchases and on-time payments, whoa, things can happen a lot easier. Whoa. 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 Oh, you deserve some credit. Whoa. Get started at Chime.com.
Why is money shooting out of your shirt?
Oh, I bought it with Ibotta Online. They give me cash back for this money and everything I buy.
Guess that explains the couch then. And the kids' faces.
Yep, bought it all with Ibotta.
In-store, online. There's cash back in everything you buy.
Her father was everything to her, but always, it seemed, at a distance. The parents divorced when she was 5. Then she had to share him with the world. By the time Rashida Ali finally got to see him fight, it was too late.
I was 11. The only fight I was able to be old enough to go and see my dad fight. My dad took a lot of punches, which we were mortified watching this. And I remember being in the room with him, and I said, Daddy, please stop boxing. I mean, I just don't want to see this anymore.
It wasn't until Rashida became a mother herself that she got what she always wanted.
I wanted my kids to know their grandfather, mainly because I wanted that.
Me and my grandfather, most of the time we were together, it was through magic tricks. I think that's what made us really close. There was this pen trick where you stab a dollar bill and then you yank the pen out and there's no hole in the dollar bill.
So when Nico tells you, I want to box,
I was traumatized from Urbik. I didn't really look at boxing the same. We were visiting Daddy, and Nico was talking to my dad about it. I'm thinking to myself, Daddy's going to clearly tell him, trust me, you can do other things. I hear Daddy say, yeah. I'm like, are you out of your mind?
No one feels good about where we're at. No one feels good about how we played or what we're doing.
Back to the drawing board will go the Bucks in a short week of prep for the Baltimore Ravens.
I'm trying to win versus anybody I play. I don't really dwell on one player.
Touchdown Ravens!
But it's Brady. You want to play against Brady? You need to go.
Nothing in this game is given to you. You got to go do something about it.
Going to war with my boys. Let's get it.
You just got to go find a way to get a win.
Keyshawn, J. Willimax on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and ESPNU were presented by Progressive Insurance and coming to you live from above the Heineken River Deck at Pier 17. Good morning, Key.
Morning there. How you doing?
Morning, Jason.
Good morning, Maximus.
Yes.
It looks very nice in the city of New York.
Yeah, we finally don't have fog that is blocking our view of Brooklyn.
Yesterday, it got hot and muggy late in the day. You
I
notice
can't
that?
figure this weather thing out, man.
Yeah.
Is it hot? Is it cold? Just let's be one or the other.
Yeah, I like the warm weather. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, LA is good that
Hey,
way.
can I? So last
Yeah.
night I had to do a Turn 2 event for Derek Jeter, which is his charity, and it was a really cool time meeting all the kids that he's been able to put through school. And I did an interview with him and Misty Copeland talking about Greatness Wins, their new product line that they launched. And it kind of led to a conversation where James Steele, our producer, obviously whenever you get a chance to, meet people of that, status, Max, you're a Yankees fan, but for me growing up knowing Derek, get excited. And James just kind of poo-pooed it. He was like, yeah, Derek Jeter. Nobody cares. He's not a top 10 greatest Yankee of all time.
That's
top
not
10.
That's what you said. What did you say, James?
I just said he was overrated.
Well, it depends how you rate him. Like if Derek Jeter played left field for the Milwaukee Brewers and never went to the playoffs.
Nobody would care.
No, he'd be in the Hall of Fame first ballot. He had 3,000 hits, James.
Jamie, you said that he's not a top 10
but
Yankee.
no one would care about
Jamie,
him.
you said he's not a top 10 Yankee of all time. That you stated that.
Yeah, he's probably not even a top 10 Yankee of all time.
See? He said it. What?
No. He is definitely a top 10
What are you
Yankee.
talking about,
He is maybe
James?
not a top 5 Yankee,
He
but the
wasn't
Yankees
even-
been around for 120 years or
He
whatever.
wasn't even the best shortstop on the field whenever they were playing and A-Rod was there.
You know, it's funny because if you talk to any fan who lived through that era, no one who's telling you the truth on a lie detector test would take A-Rod, Garciaparra, or Tejada, or anyone over Jeter. Jeter was whatever if you watched them, you would always take Jeter.
I'm disappointed in you, Jamie.
Yeah.
You know,
in that time, yeah, he wasn't even. He was probably like the third or fourth best shortstop in the league.
You know, Joe Torre was there. He would disagree with you.
It's just because he played in
Martinez
New
was
York.
there last night.
It's
He would
insane
disagree with you.
how
I mean, some of
overrated
the
he is.
greatest Yankee legends of all time would disagree with you, James.
Here's the
Jamie,
thing:
it's
A-Rod got
disrespectful.
traded to the team. He had to
They
move
can.
positions.
Just
That's the bottom line. A-Rod had to move positions if he wanted to be a Yankee.
Just felt like it was inappropriate, Jamie.
They were both on the same team. One of them played shortstop. His name was Derek Jeter.
and they would have been better if A-Rod would have played shortstop.
Derek Jeter was one of the greatest players of his era. Y'all need to just stop.
Right.
He was a very good player.
No,
He
he's a
absolutely
great
was.
player. He's one of the greatest players of all time.
That's like saying Patrick Mahomes, James, is just another guy.
Yeah.
A Jag.
But, like Jeter never won an MVP and never won a batting title.
That doesn't
Mahomes has won an
mean
MVP. He's thrown for 50 touchdown passes,
doesn't mean
5,000
anything.
yards.
That
No
doesn't
one's
mean
calling him.
anything.
Derek Jeter won 5 championships, hitting either first or second in the lineup and playing shortstop. You think that happens by accident? One of the most important players with 5 chips?
No, it happens because the Yankees spent a ton of money to put good players around him
No,
too.
James, that's nonsense.
This is what happens.
They infrequently had the biggest payroll in the league back then.
And Max
Frequently, they
Kellerman.
were not even the highest payroll in the
Max, you know who else won championships and MVPs?
Kurt Warner.
Thank you.
Kurt Warner. And he discussed Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, 2 other guys who won championships, and in Rodgers' case, championship and MVPs. Here's the quote from Kurt Warner. I think both of those guys look like they're exhausted, he told People magazine. Kurt Warner did.
People magazine. Oh.
It's okay to go, you know what? It's not how it used to be. I may not be who I used to be. Or it's just too hard overall to get everybody up to the standard. Maybe it's time to walk away. It's not being defeated. That's not saying you can't do it anymore. I just think sometimes that stuff outweighs the joy of the game, which is what it looks like is happening for those 2 guys. And I feel for them. So Tom Brady was asked about potential retirement on his Let's Go podcast.
I said last week that there's no immediate retirement in my future. There was a retirement in the past, but I moved on from that. But certainly not. You know, I've never, I made a commitment to this team, and I love this team, and I love this organization. I told them in March I was playing, and I've never quit on anything in my life. You know, I want to keep fighting as hard as I can, and I'm always trying to do better. I'm always trying to work hard, and I'm always trying to commit more to the things that are important to me. And this team is very important to me, and I certainly want to be the best I can be for them.
Yeah, this year. This year, he's not retiring. He's going to finish the season. He's got what are they? He got 10 games left?
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to finish the year.
But you make it sound key when you say it like that, like he's going to play out the string this year. The Bucks, do you think the Bucks are going to the playoffs? I do.
They probably will, but this is it. Whenever the season's over, he's not playing in 2023. He's not. Kurt Warner is right about something, and it doesn't look fun. He's got some other stuff going on allegedly in his life. He looks slow. He looks older. He looks like the Tom Brady that you thought of whenever you made the ridiculous statement.
I didn't. I said in late October of 2022, Brady would fall off the cliff.
God, stop.
That's what I said.
But that's what he looks like. And Aaron Rodgers doesn't look like that. Aaron Rodgers looks frustrated that he can't get people to do what he wants them to do. And Tom Brady just looks like he's going through some stuff.
Yes.
Tom Brady really should retire, though.
Can I bring?
There's no need to chase.
Hey, Jay,
what are you chasing?
Let me bring something up that's kind of. We don't like to touch on people's personal lives. In Brady's case, this is very well publicized.
No,
and
I
by many
don't.
people. But generally, it's like you wish people the best.
Every time you say Tom Brady, like it looks like he's losing weight.
It does. But how about this? If in fact there is a breakup of a marriage over this kind of issue of he's not around and he's not willing to sacrifice the NFL because he needs to commit to his team and all this kind of stuff. But then what do you do? Like, doesn't that put him in a tough spot? Then how does that reconcile with this being his last year?
I don't see this being his last year. Because for me, if allegedly, as Q would say, quote unquote, the stuff does not work out with his wife, like, here's what people don't recognize about athletes before you find a family. You're married to the game. The game is your wife. You get there early, you stay late, you overly communicate, you put in the time, you're putting in sweat equity.
Gives you a hard time.
It gives you a hard time back. I mean, but the game gives you joy too, right? I mean, it gives you the love, the anger, all the emotions that come along to a degree with the marriage. So if that is removed, you're sitting there saying, what else am I going to do? And yeah, you can say I can do my podcast, I can do my media company. But at the end of the day, like maybe that is the entity that can fill that void that all of a sudden may be missing from your life, and you get married to he's always been married to the game. I think that's the problem.
But Jay, in all honesty, he's not good right now, man.
I hear you. That's right now, Key.
He's not good.
I will say this.
He's not good.
There are such things, Key, as highs and lows throughout the course of a season.
Yeah, and guess what? He's been low all year.
Yeah, he's been low for the first 6 games or so. Yeah, but I tell you, if he finds lightning in the bottle, which I'm not going to put it past Tom Brady to find lightning in the bottle, it could change the direction of how he thinks.
Let's say I don't think at 45 years old and playing the way he's playing that he's going to find lightning in the bottle with this team this year. They may make the playoffs and stumble into the playoffs, but I don't think that they're going on those Super Bowl runs. I don't think any of those sort of things are going to happen. And I know you never want to count Tiger out. Like I tell Max all the time, if you told me that Mike Tyson was getting into shape, I'd tell you he's going to win the heavyweight championship of the world. Right, Max?
Some people made that impression on the audiences that watched them. Listen, maybe some of this is on Todd Bowles too. You got to figure out a way to protect this old dude without the interior pressure has always been the thing that kills Brady. And that is exactly where they're missing all their offensive line. So you got to scheme something up to protect them, then see how it looks. Speaking of Tom Brady, guys, who needs to win more tonight? Because Tom Brady is playing in a matter of hours. The Bucs and Tom Brady, or the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. That's coming up. Keyshawn, J. Will and Max, ESPN Radio. Brady, I'm going to say it. He looks old and creaky.
There has to be more urgency. What we're doing just is not good enough.
It's hard to prepare against a guy who can do so many different things to beat you.
I would say, hopefully, I'm next to win the Super Bowl. You got 7 of them, so hopefully that's what I'm next to.
This is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
It's your boy, Biggie.
That is Reggie Bush dressed up as a Wendy's biggie bag.
Fries. Nuggets. There it is. Drinks. No, not the drinks, man.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $5 biggie bag.
The magic is calling you to stay at a Disney Resort hotel, where you're surrounded by the world's most magical celebration. You soar to adventures with extra time in any of the 4 theme parks every day. Start planning today.
Quiet.
Red Bull gives you wings.
A dental tool is round for a reason. So is an Oral-B. Round cleans better by surrounding each tooth. So clean, you'll feel like you just left the dentist. Oral-B. Brush like a pro.
Come and get it.
If you have diabetes, then getting on the Dexcom G6 is the single most important thing you can do. It eliminates painful finger sticks, helps lower A1C, and is covered by Medicare.
Before Dexcom G6, I was frustrated. All of that finger pricking and all that pain, my A1C was still stuck.
My diabetes was out of control. I was tired.
Dexcom G6 sends your glucose numbers to your phone or receiver without painful finger sticks. The arrow shows the direction your glucose is heading, up, down, or steady, so you can make better decisions about food and activity in the moment.
After using Dexcom G6, my A1C has never been lower. I lead line dancing 3 times a week. I exercise, and I'm just living a great life now.
It's so easy to use. Dexcom G6 has given me confidence and control that everything I need is right there on my phone.
Dexcom G6 is the #1 recommended CGM system by doctors and patients. Call now to get started.
Here's the thing about the good times in life. We don't always realize we're in them when greatness is unfolding right in front of us. When superstars, rising stars, jokers, and freaks collide, this time could be up there with the greatest of times. It's a beautiful time for basketball.
You know, it doesn't matter if you choose left or right, because they're both chewy, crunchy, and delicious.
You know, it doesn't matter if you choose left or right, because they're both chewy, crunchy, and delicious.
The number 3 means perfection. It's a party, not a crowd. In some places on Earth, it even evokes the divine. Choose between the advanced and dynamic 330i, the adrenaline-inducing M340i, or the electrified 330e. It really is a magic number. The 3. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. See your local BMW center today for exceptional lease and finance offers.
We're Carvana. We've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Go to Carvana, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. We'll come to you, pay you on the spot, then pick up your car. That's it. At Carvana.
Where do you get your strength from? How did you get to be so strong?
God made me.
Even though his heart condition limited his physical activity, nothing could stop Hunter from becoming a huge football fan, with big dreams of crossing the goal line for Iowa State University.
Yesterday was Hunter's birthday. He turned 6 years old. He's a big Cyclone fan. Hunter's biggest dream is to score a touchdown.
Walk me through the first time that you and Hunter met.
So he comes in the huddle, this little guy, little pipsqueak, and you can just see him like fuming with confidence. Since I've been in college, I've always called him Hunt Dizzle. And I was leading for him on a run play, and I threw out one cut block, and then I got back up and blocked it again, and and he scored. And it's the joy and the passion on his face. It was amazing. Like one of those things like you can't buy.
Brady, I'm going to say it. He looks old and creaky.
There has to be more urgency. What we're doing just is not good enough. It's hard to prepare against a guy who can do so many different things to beat you.
I would say, hopefully I'm next to win the Super Bowl. You got 7 of them, so hopefully that's what I'm next to.
We about to get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, oh, yeah.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max here on ESPN Radio, on your smart speakers or on ESPN. Download the podcast, and we are on the ESPN app. Join now by Dan Graziano, ESPN NFL Insider.
The Grazi, baby, what's happening?
Not a lot, It's a nice looking day in New York City. Finally.
Yeah. Yesterday turned out to be a nice day.
It turned out to be. You had to work for it.
Had to
You had to wade through some crap.
Yeah. But it is. You're right. Nice, clear, crisp autumn day.
Nice.
Unseasonably
A little warmer.
A little bit.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I don't mind that.
Where are you at this weekend, Grazi?
Buffalo.
Ooh.
Green Bay Packers. Just what the Packers need right now is a trip to Buffalo.
Watch them score the upset now.
I wonder what that spread is. Isn't the spread like 11?
I think it's the first time that Rodgers been a double-digit underdog. I think that's right. Yeah.
Damn,
Life comes at you fast.
11? Damn.
Well, they think they Pittsburgh and Tennessee rolling up to Ralph Wilson Stadium. That's what they think if they're giving them 11.
So we are presented by Progressive Insurance, and the Ravens and Bucks will be a hot ticket in Tampa. Hot Ticket is brought to you by Vivid Seats, where you earn rewards with every purchase. Vivid Seats Rewards is your ticket to more tickets. Vivid Seats, life happens live. So, Dan, who needs to win more tonight? Tom Brady and the Bucks or Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens?
Oh, I think it's Brady and the Bucks. I mean, look, it really kind of depends what you mean, right? Like mathematically, in terms of how the standings size up, it's probably the Ravens because the Bengals look like they're heating up, and the Bucks have nobody pushing them. I mean, the Falcons are tied with them, but I don't think anybody's really scared of them.
But the Falcons are tied with them, right? Yeah.
Psychologically, I keep going back to that line Mike Evans had about after he dropped the pass. I saw the light go out of us. In the first quarter of an October game against the Panthers, like psychologically, the Bucks need something good to happen because it's starting to get away from them. It just feels bad around that team. Everything that felt good for the last couple of years about them, it just seems to have dried up. I think they could, for their own sake, they could use it. I don't think they're going to get it. The injury list, the list of guys that are out, especially on defense, is unbelievable. But
the O-line, the interior of the O-line is wiped out.
Yeah.
Be nice for Mike Evans to put those pinkies together.
I mean,
Dan,
right? Whole story be different. He catches that ball, right?
Yeah.